Pretty good. Pretty good.
So we got our collar and everything.
Yeah.
Are we guys able to review the video and stuff?
We did watch it. Yes.
Excellent. So I'll have you go and turn everything on, and then you're going to fit Toby here. And we want to have it high up, and then we'll get started, okay?
Okay. All right.
He's 60 pounds?
He's at 58, yeah.
Okay. I was expecting I kept thinking bigger dogs. I was trying to remember. I remember the name Toby, but I hadn't seen you guys in a bit.
Yeah, he's smaller than what we expected, so. Loves open areas.
Yeah.
So he's just we got here and he's so excited.
So
he just
excited.
loves to run around.
Yeah, there's a lot of distractions here. We also get off-leash dogs and stuff, so we can keep an eye out. We'll give you a heads up. Okay?
Yeah.
Control the situation and stuff. Everything turned on.
That
collar as well.
The collar's turned on, it says this, I think. How do I check again?
So go ahead and grab the box, and on the front of your remote, there's a pager button above the screen. Grab the box and hit that button.
This box, right?
Yep.
And it should be green.
It should be green.
And the pager just vibrates, right?
That's correct.
Yep.
There you go. So whenever you're having issues and you want to double check of whether or not it's on or off, I just grab the box. So let's say his number is 25, but then one day you're on 80. One day you're on 80, then you're that's really high. I'll grab the box, the pager, it turned off or it died or something.
Right.
Instead of power. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is in the video finding your dog's perception level, right? Is we're gonna do that now. So now we have I'm having you shorten your leash about halfway, Toby here, and you're gonna be stationary, okay? We have 3 levels. We have connection, perception, and working level. Connection is when you see the twitch, but the dog is not fazed by it. So you can be looking at a squirrel, you'll see the twitching happening, and nothing, okay? Perception is, he's looking at something, you see the twitch, and he kind of what is that? Very subtle. Right. Working level is twitch, whoa, what's going on? It's much more drastic response, and we always want to have that working number, because that's what's going to make this progress very quickly and make it effective no matter what the environment is, okay? Plus we have a dog reactivity, is that correct?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
What's dog reactivity?
He's aggressive towards dogs?
Barking at dogs stuff?
No.
Okay.
Some dogs. There's 2 or 3 dogs, German Shepherds.
A very specific neighbor dog, but in general, no.
Okay. So he's dog social?
Yes.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's just general obedience?
Yeah.
General obedience and children, he really dislikes children.
Okay.
And my niece and him don't get along very
Oh,
well.
okay, I think I'm remembering now.
Yeah, and he kind of
nipped
nipped at her
Gotcha.
twice now.
Yeah.
And then other
and
grown-ups
strangers,
as well.
he's
men specifically.
jumped up
men
and
trained.
nipped.
Okay, so what we'll do is we're gonna have the first couple of classes of the foundation of heel, so you learn how it is and how to apply it, and then we'll start to shift into more behavioral to help address the kid.
And again, just to the dog problems that he has had is always over something.
Resource guarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So that's what
Over a stick or a ball.
stick, ball, toy.
No, he's gotten into fights and dog parks.
Gotcha.
Over stick.
Gotcha.
But
But
walking past the dog.
yeah.
Okay, so resource guarding is actually pretty simple because it's a context. So we'll tackle all that stuff. Okay. So what's your number right now?
It's at 0.
Let's go to 10.
Okay, I haven't tested it.
So dogs tend to feel it around 15, but we'll start at 10. And when
He's also a baby, I feel.
when I say tap, you're gonna press that bumpy button on the side, okay? So we're gonna look at Toby here and tap, tap, tap. Right, real subtle response there. Let's go to 15. And if you land on 16 or 14, 17, you're fine, just general range. Tap, tap, tap. Right, so that's still kind of perception. We're gonna go to 20. And remember, keep that leash, keep about halfway short there. That's good. And wait a moment. Relax a bit. Okay.
Toby.
Wait it out. You're good.
I know.
Yep. Yep. Right. No, it's okay. It's fine. Yep. 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 So you see how he's kind of like still not phased by it?
Yeah.
25. Yep. 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 30.
He does have longer hair. I like
Yep.
thicker hair.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
You're good. Yep. You're fine. Yep. But you see how he's still like he's not doing anything? Right? You see the cinch, right? That's connection. But he's not caring. Okay? This is normal. Okay, this is perfectly normal. 35, you're fine. Yep. Yep. Yep.
He looks like
Trust me. Okay. 38. Yep. There it is. Yep. Right. So you see how he's moving there. Okay. That's the concern. That's the concern there. So here, you don't want to do that. Okay, because now you're going against yourself.
oh, okay.
So you cannot be his buddy and his authority at the same time.
Okay.
Okay? This is how it is. I'm not saying you can't give him affection, but you want to be mindful of when you give him affection. I understand why you're doing it. You feel bad.
I do feel so bad.
Okay? Dogs bite each other. You have to think that. Okay? Dogs do not have compassion for each other. It's like they let their puppies die if they're not going to make it. They can't nurse, they can't nurse, right? Now I'm not saying let your dog die, but you have to learn to kind of just disengage from that emotional connection, because with the resource guarding and stuff, it will be forever a problem if you don't get over this hump. Okay? It's very common for the first class. I understand it. If I was hurting dogs, I wouldn't be here rebuilding a business after COVID. Okay? All on this device. Okay? So trust me, it's perfectly normal. If we get a yip, okay, which can happen, it means now he's receiving the collar, we adjust the number. Okay? But did you see the difference between 35 and 38, right? 35 feels like whatever, and then 38 you start to tuck in like, whoa, what's going on? That's the concern, okay? The reason why you want that concern is to make the obedience effective from the get-go, okay? Now, if you see him get flighty, which is pulling away, people think we're making the dog worse. I go, no. Your dog, their stress response is flight. You have four options: fight, flight, avoidance, submission, right? So if he goes under stress, well, let's say the bone. He sees a dog coming and he gets stressed. He's like, I think you're going to take it from me. Bark, 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 bark. That's a fight response, right? In this case, this contraction is happening. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He's probably going to do a flight response, okay? If you don't override the flight response, in the future, potentially, he's off leash. Someone blows off a firework. He's running away. You're not going to get your dog back, okay? You have to think. That's what we're prepping for. We're prepping if life throws you a really bad day and he's off leash. I'm not worried about can I get my dog back because we've worked through all these things. Okay? Yep. I train for reality and I understand how you feel. Okay? I get it. I can see it. But trust me, we're gonna have to go through a little rough patch emotionally, work them through it, and then you're gonna see the other side and you go, oh, makes sense. It's not that bad. Okay? Let's go ahead and move forward. What we're going to do here is this exercise, very simple, okay? We're going to teach him how to walk on our side, no tension, okay? This is the foundation for the heel cast. So when he pulls ahead of you, you're going to always make a 180 turn like this, okay? He goes ahead, 180 turn to your immediate right. Ahead, 180 turn. Keep repeating that, okay? Now, while we do this, you will also be tapping on the remote when I tell you tap, okay? So it would look like tap, 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 tap. He's here, we stop. Tap, 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 tap. He's here, we stop. Okay? So when I tell you tap, you would be actively pressing that button. Okay? So tap, 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 or tap, 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 tap. So whatever rhythm I give you is what you're matching.
And at this point he's tapping on this 38 buckle?
Correct. Okay? So the reason for finding that number is if you're too low, you're going to be going back and forth all day with no progress. Okay? And what I want is by the end of the session, he's here and you're able to start walking. Okay? So as you move forward, because you're going to have to get over the emotional part right there. Okay? It's super common. Is you'll find, I'll see you in a week. How'd it go? Jesse, we were turning every day 100 pounds. What was your number? 20. 20's not 38, right? You're not, it's gonna be forever. As soon as you start matching them according to the environment, and it could be lower at home, it could be lower because there's no distractions, right? Which makes sense, and that's typically how it works. But if you're trying to be in this kind of environment with control, you have to be at a higher number that is meaningful to him. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So actually what we're going to do before we get started, we're going to go down to 28. We're going to look at Toby. Tap. 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 We're going to start at 28. Okay. So I'm going to ease you into this. Okay. So I'm going to have you give a little bit more slack. That's good. Take up about 3 to 4 inches. Good. And what you're going to do is, actually let's switch hands. Leash on your left hand, remote on your right hand. And then go ahead and shorten your leash. That's good. Go ahead and just walk forward. Don't do anything here. Just walk forward. Good. There he is. And you're going to just turn this way real quick. Okay. And then just come to a stop. All right. So for your leash, you see how it's slack? Go ahead and step in towards Toby. There you go. So you see the loop there? I want you to keep that loop about armpit length. Okay? It gives them enough slack to make mistakes, but not too much slack that it's getting caught over the leash.
Oh, like that?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you can stay with your arm relaxed like you are. Step in again. A little bit more. So you see how it's right by the armpit?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Okay? So that's your visual. When you're doing training, you want slack so Toby can make mistakes, but if you go any lower than that, it's going to get tangled underneath his paws and his armpits and stuff, and it's going to be a mess.
Gotcha.
Okay? So now we're going to get started. So remember, when I say turn, it's just going to be a complete 180 turn to your right, and you're going to tap when I say tap. Okay? So it'll be fine. And you're right. Forward. Big deep breath. Right turn. Tap, 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 forward. Good. Here, pull to your left as you walk forward. Pull to your left and walk forward.
Sorry.
Pull to your left, tap, and relax. Good. Turn. Tap. Tap. Forward. Good. You're good. Forward. Turn. Tap. 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 Pull to your left. Tap. 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 Relax. Perfect. Turn. Tap. 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 Forward. Pull to your left. Tap. 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 And relax. Good. Turn. Tap. 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 Pull to your left. Tap. 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 Go to 30. And then turn.
We'll try turning right, right?
Yep. Yeah. Good. Turn, tap, 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 forward, good. Turn, tap, tap, good. Tap, forward, tap, 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 good. Forward, tap, 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 good. Tap, 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 keep forward, little babies. There you go. Keep forward, tap, good. Slow turn. Got it. Just keep going for now.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Ignore that for now. Good. Back on the sidewalk. Good. Turn to your right. Tap. Tap. Forward. Tap. 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 Forward. Good. Good. Tap. Forward. Tap. Tap. Keep forward. Keep forward. Keep forward. Tap. Keep forward. Tap. Keep forward. Keep forward. Tap. 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 Good. Turn. Tap. Tap. To your left. Tap. 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 Let's go 32. And turn when you're ready. Tap. 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 Tap forward. Tap forward. Tap. 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 Good. Tap. Tap. Tap forward. Turn, tap, turn, tap, tap, good, Turn. Tap. Tap. Hold your left. Tap. Tap. Relax. Good. You're gonna turn. Tap. Tap. 34. Actually, keep it there. Yeah. Turn. Tap. Tap. Hold your left. Tap. Relax. Slow down here. Turn. Tap. Keep forward. Turn. Tap. Tap. Hold your left. Tap. Tap. Good. Let's go to 34. And you'll turn when you're ready. Tap. Keep forward. Keep forward. Tap. Tap. Good. Slow turn. Tap. Forward. Now walk slow here. Turn. Tap. Good. Keep forward. Good. Turn again. Tap. Go to your left. Tap. Walk slow again. Go to 30. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Keep it forward. Keep it forward. Now turn. Tap. 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 Good. Better. Better. Keep forward. Good. Turn. Tap. 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 Keep forward. Tap. Keep forward. Tap. There we go. Good. Yep. Good. Slow turn. Tap. Keep forward. Better. Turn. Tap. Tap. Go to your left. Tap. 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 Good job. We'll go to 36. Turn. Tap. Keep forward. Better. Good. Turn. Tap. Tap. Good. Turn. Tap. Tap. Now slow walk here. Turn. Tap. Hold to your left. You got it. Yeah. Now slow walk here. Slower. Turn. Tap. Tap. Forward. Tap. Tap. Keep forward. Tap. Hold your left. Tap. Tap. You got it. Good. Slow turn. Tap. Keep forward. Tap. Yep. Keep forward. Go to pick up the pace here. Tap. Tap. Now slow walk again. Turn. Tap. Much better. Tap forward. Tap. Keep forward. Good. Slow turn. Forward. Tap. This level for mom is too strong. There you go. Put your left. Tap. Good. Slow walk. Turn. Tap. 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 There you go. Better. Slow turn. Yep. Keep forward. Better. Turn. Tap. I'm sorry. That's right. Now slow walk here. Slower. Stop. All right. See that? You're seeing the change. Yeah. Now, do you see the difference between right? Like how much more ground you were able to cover in those turns there. And if the way he's taking this really well. His mouth is open, his tail, he's nice and relaxed. He's not spooked or anything like that. I thought he was going to be more flighty, but he's handling this a lot better than I anticipated. Okay, so typically, like, were you expecting worse? Like, were you thinking like?
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting him to fight harder.
Sure, and sometimes it happens, right? We work them through it, we get past it, the dog's fine, right? But here, that was great. Like, this is how we wanted it to work. Okay, he was responding, and which was incrementally 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, right? So had we started at 38, we'd already be here and then further. Okay, because we would start at the working. But I got to think about the human, and I go, okay, clearly there's some reservations. Let me go down 10 levels and do it very gradually, and we're back at that number that we were going to start at. So So give you a visual of like, oh, now I see the common sense of why we would have wanted to start at 38. Does that make sense? Okay, are you feeling a little bit better now?
Yeah, a little bit better, yeah.
Okay. You did really well, by the way.
Okay, thank
You're really good about keeping your arms down. Most people do a lot of like keeping their arms up, and you're really good about it. You're really good about going back and forth. So that made things really easy. Okay. So do you understand the logic of why this is helping him to walk on your side?
Yeah.
What is the logic here?
If when he's not on my side, we're tapping. When he's on my side, he's not getting tapped.
Correct. It's a safe spot.
It's a safe spot.
Right. Now, most people would allow the dog to pull. They would say no, remote, to punish the behavior. The dog goes back and they go heel. And they keep walking, right? It's the worst way to train. It does not work, okay? Instead, I go, oh, you want to go that way? Sure, but I'm going to go this way. And I have this thing that's going to annoy you. So for Toby, he feels this and goes, I don't like this. He turns around, oh, now Dad's going that way. Then he catches up and it stops. So we're correcting what we don't want, but then redirecting him towards what we do want. So we're saying, don't go that way, you want to go this way, because that's where we're going. And as soon as he hit that safe place, he would stop. So he starts to think, oh, this remoting is not a punisher here, it's a line of communication. Okay. Now it can absolutely be both. And I'm not saying that we don't use it as punishers, okay, because we do use it to correct behaviors. But right now we're teaching something that's completely unnatural to him. He is not born into this world to walk beside a human and to sit when they say sit and down when they say down, right? He's meant to be free, go hunting, replicate, be wild, right? But we've domesticated them and all that other stuff, so life has changed a bit for them. But instinctually, thanks Ricky, but instinctually, that's what he's supposed to be doing. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when we do something unnatural, we have to teach the dog how to do it. When it's something natural, like, hey, don't guard that stick. It's not about teaching them about not guarding a stick. It's just we don't allow that. That's just consequence. Right. Okay? Because right now you're seeing, like, if a dog approaches them while he has a stick, does he snap at them? Does he growl at them?
He does the teeth.
Sure. He
like when they're
teeth.
coming. And then if they get too close, then he
bites. Okay. Yeah.
And then they get in a fight.
Sure. So that's his language. So what we're doing here is it's what I call a bite on the butt. Okay. But what's great about this is it's 127 very fine-tuned levels. Okay. So earlier we had a dog, and not earlier, but yesterday, from 30 to 34 made a world of a difference. It was just 4 numbers, and the dog went from not wanting to move to running to the owner for the recall. Okay. So once you start to understand the nuances of it, and to understand dogs and respect dogs, in my opinion, that they're physical and they resort to physicality, and you teach them in that style, it's a very quick process. Okay. I'm not looking to make a robot. I want you to have control, but at the same time have, your dog's personality, right? But also you want to have a means of stopping things. So when you're at the dog park and there's a dog stick, or not dog stick, but a stick, and you're like, he's going for it, you can now prevent him from even obtaining the stick. So there's nothing to guard. Does that make sense? Right. So we have preventative, but then we also have, hey, you have a stick, I'm going to need you to relinquish that. You also have a means of getting him to give up some. Okay? So, questions so far? Okay, so we're gonna do another little run, and then we're gonna swap handlers. Okay. Okay. We're at what number right now?
38.
38.
Hit our number.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start off with a. I'm gonna have to go down to 34. And you're gonna start with a right turn here. Okay. And go. There we go. Good. Turn. Tap. Go to your left. Tap. Good, and relax. Turn, tap. Good. That was a better turn though. Tap forward. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, if I say forward, just keep straight. Now turn, tap, tap. Keep straight, you're good, keep straight. Now turn, tap, 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 to the left, tap, and relax. Good. Turn, tap, Tap. Good. Good. Keep straight. Good. Now turn. Tap. Tap. Let's go to 36. And I'd keep it out of your pocket so it doesn't fidget the dial when you put it in. Now. Turn. Tap. Good. Keep straight. Good. Pick up a little bit of slack here. That's good. Turn. Tap. 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 Straight. Tap. Tuck to the right a little bit. Tuck to the right. Yeah. There we go. Turn. Tap. Good. Forward. Good. Tap. Good. Slow turn. Going to slow walk here. Right. Keep slow. Yep. Keep playing. Now stop. Better. Remember earlier, you kept going. You slowed down there. You did keep going, but then eventually he dialed back and waited for you and then started walking with you. Not 100% yet, but just about 80. Okay? And all we did was go, we went down to 34 just to see how he'd respond. Need a little bit more power. Went to 36, and then that was getting a bit easier on the end. You notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Question so far?
I mean, he's not gonna hate me.
No. He doesn't know where it's coming from.
Oh,
Now, I will tell you, if you present the collar to him and you're like, oh, buddy, it's that time again, right?
Oh, I see.
He's not going to like it. Because he's like, if you don't like it, I don't like it.
All right.
Okay? So it's always upbeat, always positive, or indifferent. Okay? And we'll talk more about the week and putting the collar on and stuff. But here, from what I'm seeing so far, he's relaxed, ears are back, he's panting, so he's venting everything that's going on. His tail's not tucked in. It's fine.
He's panting so much.
Venting. So there is stress, because this is a stress, okay?
Yeah.
But he's venting it, he's processing, oh, I get the exercise now. Just walk next to dad and nothing happens, okay?
Okay. Is she gonna get a turn?
We'll get one more and then we're gonna swap,
All right.
okay? So go ahead and start with an immediate right. Nothing here because he turned with you, good job. Slow turn. Nice, good. Walk slower. You guys going at a different pace? This is fine. Here it is. You're gonna slow walk again. Now slow turn. Tap. There we go. Keep slow walk. Tap forward. Excellent. Very good. Tap forward. Good. Slow down. Slow turn. Forward. There we go. Turn. Tap. Tap. You got it. Good. Slow walk. Turn. Tap. You got it. Good. Forward. Up to the right a bit. There we go. Slow walk. And slower stop. Okay. You're going to say break and let him go. Break. Yep. And now swap. Break. Or free. Yeah, there you go. Good. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to leash in your left hand. We're going to shorten that leash, and we're going to come to relax.
Wait, sorry.
The bumpy one on the side.
Let me show you which one.
Yeah.
It's this.
That's what that's tap.
Yeah.
How do I dial it back?
The dial on top. Clockwise is up, counterclockwise is down.
So what am I starting at?
Let's put you down to 32.
Hold on. Off.
Yep.
Off. I know.
There we go. You're okay. Good. And Let's take a look at our leash here, make sure that's good. So I want you to just arms down, nice relax. Big deep breath. Breath. All right, we're gonna start off with the right turn, okay? And then so the same thing, just anytime I say turn, 180 to your right. Okay? So turn. And pull to your left. Good, relax. Good. Keep forward, cap. Keep forward, cap. Cap. Let's go ahead and take the leash out from under his armpit. Cap. 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 There you go. Slow turn. Relax your arm. Turn. Cap. Cap forward. Leash under his arms.
Jumping.
Forward. Pull to your left, cap, good. Relax. Turn, cap. Relax your arm. Good. Keep forward, cap. Keep forward, relax. Good. Slow turn. Cap. Good. Cap forward, you got it. Good. Relax. Keep forward. Good. Relax. And keep that arm down. There you go. Better. Pull to your left. Cap. There you go. Relax. Good. Cap to your left. Cap. Pull to your left. Cap. Good. Relax. Good. Slow turn. Very good. Nothing here. Can you turn with you? Cap forward, keep forward, cap, cap, good. Keep straight, cap, cap, good. Keep straight, cap. Slow turn, good. Turn, cap, keep straight, good. Slow turn. Good, nothing here, good. Keep forward. Keep forward. Good, relax that arm. Go slower. Slower. Stop. Okay. Lightly pull up here. On the leash, pull up. Cap. 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 Try grabbing closer to the collar on the leash. There you go. And up. Cap. Cap. A little bit more pulling pressure. Cap. And relax. Good. All right. So that jumping in the beginning, do you know where that's from?
No. That's just a lot.
Okay.
He jumps on me all the time.
Sure. So there's a couple of things here. One, frustration because of the pressure. Okay. The stress has to go somewhere, right? So there's venting. But then it can be potentially comfort seeking, right? In this context, it makes sense. It can also just be a lack of perspective balance. Okay? So up, yep, and relax. Okay? So let's say he jumped at another dog and they didn't like it, what would they do? Bite him, right? They would bite him and he might go, sorry, and respect that, or he might go, nope, I'm gonna jump on you because I want to, and then they fight over it, right? So here, very important that happens in this context, keep your movement. Every time you stop, you allow him the ability to keep jumping on you, but when you're walking, he's either gonna be jumping and walking on two legs, or he's gonna be walking, right? It's gonna be one or the other. Plus, I was having you tap anytime you did that. So now you're essentially biting him for jumping him. Does that make sense? So that's the correction. So I don't worry about no off, I don't worry about down or anything like that. It's if you jump on me, I'm gonna bite you, okay? And then we did that 4 or 5 times, stop, okay? So that's one part of it. Once that was resolved, then he started to lock in. Then he started to walk with you, okay? So if resistance is on the brain or other things, stressors or other stimuli like distractions are on the brain, he's gonna be non-compliant. We make him compliant by playing with that number, okay? Every dog has a breaking point. I don't know what it's gonna be, the dog knows. And the way we figure that out is that gradual increase. Okay, so if I went from, like earlier we went to 38, right? Because I could see visually that's what he needed, but you weren't there yet. So I go, okay, let's go down 10 levels, and we worked our way back up to 38, right? And then he was being really, really good. So because we found that number, he was being compliant. But that's for this setting in this particular moment. Do not get married to a number. It may change. Okay? So that's why I sent those videos. So that this way, tonight, tomorrow, when you do this exercise, before you get started, you find that number first, because it may be different in your environment. Okay? It might be higher, or it might be lower. Does that make sense? For this part here, when I had you pull up and tap him, a lot of people go like, Jesse, what do you want the dog to do? I go, I'm gonna make the dog sit. But the dog already knows sit. Yeah, but they don't know my sit. Okay, this is sit with discipline. That's the difference. I can say sit and mechanically he'll do it, but mentally he's still like this, right? When we do it through discipline, discipline calms the brain down. Discipline settles dogs down. But just saying sit, having him sitting, and being like this is of no benefit. Because at some point, that's gonna come out. And he ends up starting to jump again, or he's just completely non-compliant and doing whatever he wants. Does that make sense? Okay? And we're not trying to be mean. We're not yelling. We're not being forceful. We're not being aggressive. We're not hitting him or anything like that. We're not kicking him. It's just, it's physical, but it's completely non-confrontational. He does not know where it's coming from. He doesn't know it's attached to. Okay? Your question earlier is this going to make him not like me? Okay? Dogs fight each other and they still play. You know? See that lip licking he did there? That's expressive.
Yeah,
That's him saying that I don't like what just happened. That's okay.
I was just as stressed as you. I was thinking like,
Yeah. No, there you go. And relax. See that? See how quick that was? So, this is why I insist people do e-collar. It's simple. Okay? It's not because I'm lazy. It's because people want results. We're in the age of Google now, where there is no patience because you can just Google everything. It's one as quick as possible, right? And effective and reliable. That's why I do this. Okay. Questions so far? When you need it. So like if he's great in the home, you don't need it, right? But expect on the walks you do a point, okay?
Yeah.
I should have answered, I believe I answered during the video chat that we did, is people always ask when does it go away? In my book it doesn't, when you need it. All it means is it's going to be present, but you're not always actively using it, okay? Once the dog is trained, it's just there in case life throws you something, in case someone decides to send off a random firework at the park, which happens. It's happened to us here a couple of times. It's happened to me over at Skinner Park in the West Loop, you know. It's not uncommon. And dogs run away because of that. So he's trained, he knows everything, you're not using it other than like in a blue moon, or maybe a kid just zooms by and he catches him off guard. He's like, what? And you go, nope, settle down. You have that control. But it's not gonna be this constantly. That's what the training is for. Okay?
Is there gonna be a time when maybe a kid can pet him without us having to be like kind of concerned?
Yes and no. That's where the behavioral work comes into play. Up. Yep. And relax. That would be a structured exercise, and I'm very strict about how I do introductions. It's not just willy-nilly letting the kid touch them. It's, you want to pet the dog? Of course, but follow our instructions. If the answer is, oh, I don't want to touch the dog, then it's, no, we keep going.
That's what ruined him. These kids like
These kids
came
ran
down
up,
and
like when he was a puppy, these kids just ran up to
after
him.
that, he's not like he just doesn't like. He won't go after them, but if they come at him,
After we do this here, we may find he's settled, right? Because before he was just all over the place, right? But now that this starts to calm the brain down, when the child goes to pet him, when done correctly, we may not even see anything. Now, when I give you the exercise, we're going to pair food and all that stuff. We're going to make sure we cover all the ground around it, so that we have a much higher chance of success. But again, it wouldn't just be willy-nilly. Any kid can run up and touch him.
What do you say when we pair food? At some point we'll be doing this alongside treats?
For the kid stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right? You could add treats here, but it's a lot to think about. I make it super simple. I know it's going to work, and I know what you can do, because you're not dog trainers, right? Like you're not needing to learn all the skill sets that we have. You know, she knows, and she's still learning more stuff every day. She's one of my trainers. I spent 30 grand in 3 months in Miami, Florida, started training with one, in my opinion, the best trainer in the world, because I wanted to learn those skill sets. Do you guys want to learn those skill sets? Because if you do, you can pay me 30 grand, I'll teach it to you. Okay?
No.
Yeah, you just want a functional, obedient dog and answers to certain things, right? I teach you what I know you'll need, and if there's things that you will need to learn, I will teach you. Otherwise, if it's just extra fat, I just trim it off.
I mean, like, the idea is that I want him to be safe. Like, I don't want him to do something that he's going to essentially regret.
Because at the end of the day, if something happens, he's the one that's going to suffer, right?
He's the one who's going to suffer, and I don't want that. Yeah.
You obtain safety through control. Right. So like right now, because we have them under control, when those kids pass by on the scooter, and you're like, oh, what's going to happen?
Right.
Because of control. And I've only worked with them and you guys for like 40 minutes. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you, put yourself in those situations like, yeah, let's do this. But life's going to throw that at you. But now you have the means. I'll give you more insight. This is what you're going to do. If things go south, this is what you do, because there's no perfect life for the dog. You know, like you could be great for 3 years, and then one day something happens and he becomes reactive towards the child. I go, no big deal. I know how to stop this. Okay. Because as people, we're not perfect throughout life. Like we get angry, we say mean things that we didn't mean to say because of the moment, right? Or do things we didn't intend to do, or wouldn't typically do when we're nice and passive and logical. With anger, same concept here. Okay? Feeling better now? All right, so I'm gonna have you work a little bit more. You're gonna relax. You're gonna turn to your right. Right turn. Okay. Right turn and tap. And forward. You got it. Relax that arm. Slow down. You gotta have a slow turn. Good. See how you turn it again? You get him. Turn again. Tap. Distracted by dad. Good. Slow down again.
Johnny, do you want to raise?
Slow turn. Tap. Turn. Tap. Good. Pull to your left. Tap. You got it. Good. Relax. Good. Tap forward. Forward, tap. Tap forward. Go to your left, tap. Tap forward, you got it, good. Slow turn.
Okay.
Turn, tap. Good.
No, we're going to left
Go to slow down. Keep forward. Slow, keep forward. Slower. Tap forward. Good. Slower. And stop. Good. Right? So he has an attachment to both of you. Now, because earlier it was you, and then he was like, oh, it's weird because typically it's towards her, but why is it towards me now?
You know, it's interesting because, sorry to interrupt, but like lately, at certain times of the night, if it's past the time, like 6 p.m., we we almost have to always take him on his walk together because he kind of doesn't even want to leave the house, or he quickly wants to go potty and come right back in. I don't know if it's because of the attachment thing that you're talking about, like where's the other person?
Yeah.
Both of you should be here with me always right now.
Right.
It's very interesting that we're kind of seeing this.
Go ahead and lightly pull up here and give that tap. Tap. And relax. Yeah. That happens. It's unhealthy. Okay. It's like a needy boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. Or, for instance, I had an ex-girlfriend who, like her cousin, his mom went to drop him off for the first day of school, and he like broke down. And the mom felt really bad and actually ended up keeping him and homeschooling him, right? And it created, you see that, you're like, oh my God, it created a host of issues, okay? Same thing for dogs, okay? It's kind of like just that first day of school, oh, feel really bad, not gonna do it, okay? It's that kind of attachment. This can help break that, okay? Because every time he's like, Dad, 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 and you're like, nope, nope, nope. You're fighting him, saying, that's not how you're gonna handle the situation, okay? And he was just fine. You let it go, okay, walking with mom again. You keep your movement, okay? It's really that simple. People overcomplicate things because of the emotional component of things, you know, the abuse kind of factor of like, am I abusing my dog by using this physicality, right? I was raised old school, I was spanked. It sucked, it hurt, you know, relate. But it was meant to teach a lesson. It wasn't meant to abuse me, right? And you know, there are, of course, you know, families out there that don't you know, there's no intent. It's really just the emotional, like, outlet of I need to get anger out, whatever it is, or issues, right? It's completely different. If we weren't teaching anything that he was directly understanding, we wouldn't have gotten as much progress as we did today, right? So earlier I said we work at that working number because I want this by the end of the class. And what did we achieve?
That.
Right? But if I would have like beat around the bush and be like, all right guys, 6, right? 7, 6. We'd be like at 11 right now, you know, and then you'd be like walking away like, does this even work? You know, I've been doing this 10 years. I've learned a lot. Again, just trim off the fat. I know what's going to work and what's not going to work. And now it's just the practice and application of it. The more you do this with him, the faster, the better he gets faster, okay? So the more you use this now, the less you use it over time, which means most people wait for, oh my dog's pulling, now I'm going to use it, right? But no, I don't even want him getting an inch ahead. I want that hip right on his shoulder on that hip, okay? So you're going to be, we did a lot of turns today, but they gradually became less because we're being very generous with that remoting. He's like, okay, man, there's a lot of bites today. I really need to learn what I'm supposed to do. And now we just continue that to me, okay? So when you...
So it's the idea that, sure, he walks next to us whenever we're on a walker, you know, at some point, hopefully we can get him off leash, but there is a time where we could say, like, free, and then he can just go out and do his thing,
Yeah.
and then we say...
Yeah, it's like, let's say you're gonna walk to the park, right? Heel, walk to the park, he's here, there's a little foraging pain, pooping on whatever, right? We stop, he sits, we wait a moment, free, boom, freedom, right? Call him back, heel, walk back home again, right? It's an on and off switch.
Because I noticed we didn't use the word...
Not right now.
At all. Okay.
Yeah, because I know if I tell you the word now, you're gonna become more reliant on the word, less reliant on the caller.
Okay, so we don't want to be using that word on our
Not
walks.
till next class,
Not
correct.
till next class.
So what triggers the exercise is the tap, right? So what I suggest at this phase is you're gonna come out, get the potty out, get that out the way first. Pee, poop, great, start walking, tap, bring him in, and now everything turns on, right? And make sure to find that number, right? Find that operating number, working number first, and then boom, now we're walking. As long as Toby is right beside you, you don't need to turn. You're only turning when he passes you. So if you walk for a mile straight and he's spot on, perfect.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
we were turning just to...
No,
See
we
if he
were
can
turning when he was getting ahead of us. When I saw him picking up on your pace, I was saying slow turn. Because I said turn, and then I said slow turn. The slow turn is because I could see him paying attention, and it was giving him the opportunity to turn with you because of the sake of space.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, you'd be over like in, you know, North Lakeview, whatever. So
that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
so you're only turning when Toby is not lined up with you. Your visual cue right shoulder lined up to the left leg, okay? Only once you trigger the exercise. If you come out and you don't do a thing, no e-collar, this is what you're gonna get. I don't do anything, because there's no way to make it happen, no way to reinforce it, because we don't have that authority figure with us. Does that make sense? Okay? Questions so far?
I don't know.
So, for your homework this week, okay, it's just this exercise. Only apply the remote stuff I've gone over with you. Okay, don't try to do recall or anything. Just this exercise, okay? Dogs are better in smaller chunks. 3 to 4 15-minute sessions or 20-minute sessions is ideal because it allows the brain to process. So every time I would stop and like gap my mouth for a bit, he was processing what just happened. Okay, that's why he was getting better and better each time.
So you're saying every single day you want to do 3 20-minute sessions, 3 15-minute sessions?
Yeah. So if you did 215, if you did 215, that'd be great. Or 3 20-minute sessions, what have you. If all you have is one solid hour, like a block to do it, you can do that as well. Okay. It's not going to be too much for him because there's no redundancy here. As long as he's walking beside you, you just keep going straight. When we start to go into more repetitive stuff, like sit down type of stuff, that you have to keep really short, 3 to 5 minutes, otherwise the dog's too frustrated. Okay. But walking alleviates stress from the e-collar. Okay, so if anything is building up, he's letting it go at the same time with the movement. Okay, so if your turns should become less and less, your correctional turns, so that's all about your number. So if you leave here and you're on 20 and you stay on 20, and then you don't ever go past that, and you're like, man, Jesse, every day was 100 turns. I'm like, well, what was your number? 20. Why didn't you go higher? Right? And it's a gradual higher. So my general rule of thumb is if I don't get a response or a change within 3 corrections, I bump it. Okay? So it would be we're on 20, turn, turn, turn. That's already 3 corrections. 24. Turn, turn, turn. 28, right? And then eventually you're gonna hit 36. 1 turn, boom. And now you're just going for blocks. Now you know, great, I'm really close to, I'm either at the number or I'm very close to the number because 36 allowed me to walk with him 5 blocks, no problem. Whereas when I was on 25, I could even walk 10 feet without having to turn. Does that make sense? So that's the logic. It's just like math. There's stuff going on here. What level on this is going to override all of this? We've already got the concept. I can tell you right now, he gets the concept. It's just a matter of making the concept important enough to practice for him to adhere to within that environment. Okay? So I suggest putting it on 50 minutes prior, then doing your training, leaving it on 50 minutes after, then removing it. Okay? If you can.
So he doesn't associate that with that.
Right. Yeah. If you come to a stop where you want to let him be free or whatever, or maybe like you're on a schedule and you're like, crap, I have to get home, I can't do these corrections. You would stop, wait a moment, bless you. You would stop, and you would say free. Okay, now he's on the clock. Now he don't touch the remote anymore. Okay, he's on his own time to do whatever he wants, you know? And he can pull you home, okay? It will not affect your training because you told him you're off the clock, okay? What will affect your training is if you start this process and then go, this is annoying, and you stop and let him win without any clear divisive free. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the beauty of this is control when we need it and the freedom when we want to give it, okay? So my dogs are completely off this train. I can take them anywhere. And they're boom, tight on me, and then when I go, oh, this is a nice little spot, break, they're running, zooming around, doing their doggy thing. When I call them back, heel, boom, let's go. Okay? Questions? You look excited now.
I am
That's a
excited.
tree.
That's the
Okay?
tree.
You have to do the homework. Yep. There you go. And now, and by the way, I want you to refrain when possible from saying no or off, because then it becomes a cue behavior. He technically can jump on you until you say no. So if he jumps on you and this goes off automatically, he thinks, oh, if I want to avoid that, I just don't jump on you.
Yeah, that's why I was confused about giving treats when he listens to a command, because if my command is off, he can just jump on me constantly. If he gets off, I give him a treat. It just feels like you just keep jumping on me and getting treats.
That's human
That's how
logic.
I always thought of it. Like gets on the counter, it's like get off, and then he gets a treat.
No, listen. So aversives are meant to stop things you don't want. Reinforcement is meant for things you want to see again, right? But you have two things. You jumped on the counter, but then you said off, you got off and you rewarded them. So what you're saying is, when I say off, I want to see you remove yourself again.
Right.
Not don't go there in the first place.
Right, and that's what I was. How do I teach you?
That's
Not
what
to do that
aversives
in the
are
first
for.
place.
Okay? Again, spanking, right? But the most common mentality in the dog training world is no, don't do that. Dogs, blah, 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 you make them worse or whatever. If you're making the dog worse, it's because you're not doing it correctly. Okay? And I get so many other trainers' dogs that I'm just like, nobody really knows what they're thinking, okay? There's only a very small, like Caesar Milan is pretty good, but he's like more holistic dog training. He doesn't really do e-collar, right? I love Caesar, but it's really difficult to teach people how to be Caesar, okay? Remote collar, my mentor, Richard Hines, was kind of like Caesar adapted e-collar, but he had his own methodology. And in my opinion, I'm like, man, you're the best. I've seen the crazy dogs that he's worked with. I've worked with him on crazy dogs, and we turn them around, right? So I'm like, because he thinks like a dog. He's not thinking like a human who feels bad because it's an animal, right? Like this is a dog right here, okay? Because the dog didn't want to go in the kennel. Very mundane thing in the dog. No, I'm not going in the kennel, and I'm willing to fight you for it. Here we go. That's dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have once you learn how to think like them and approach them like another dog would approach them, very quick. That's why Caesar's so great. He's like a dog. Old Caesar, he's changed a bit. Right? He's kind of a soft. But his old stuff was great. Clean in, correction, this is what we do. Boom, great progress. It's just hard to teach people to be that nuanced and perceptive with their dog, right? We're very technological now. That's why e-collar is such an efficient tool, okay? So your homework for the week, this exercise, smaller chunks is better. When you put the collar on them, if you like, give them, cheese or whatever, it's high value. So I presented cheese, put it on cheese, do 50 minutes, then you're training, back, leave it on 15 minutes, go grab it, cheese, remove it, cheese. All right, bud, right? Always be upbeat, positive, or indifferent, but do not be negative, okay? If you notice I'm being a little bit apprehensive, it's normal in the beginning because it's disciplinary. Once he opens up and goes, oh wow, like it needs walks, running around at the dog park, going off leash and this, that, like my dogs hear this and they come running, okay? But again, I was always upbeat and attach positive to it. But in the beginning, because there's a lot of discipline when we're training, you may see some of that. It's perfectly normal. It's okay. You're not screwing them up. Okay? Questions?
No, I don't have any.
Yeah, good job, guys.
All right, thank you.
Told you, trust me.
Yeah, I feel much better than I
I know, I
did
feel like, I gotta get over
first 5 minutes.
Yeah, you care about it. I completely understand it. But I want you to think whenever you're feel apprehensive, just think about the kids thing, think about the research starting thing and where he's willing to go, to kind of push you through it. Because, that's what, if we don't push through this, we won't fix that. Or we cannot fix that. Okay, that's the thing. All right? Awesome. It was a pleasure meeting everybody.
Yeah.
If you need anything else, you let us know.
So when would be the next class?
Maria's